Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another podcast with your boy. Seems like whenever I'm trying to do a podcast, I always say, oh yeah, I'll do it sitting down, I'll do it sitting indoors. Nope, my dumb ass goes outside. And yeah, I tend to do these outside. This one was meant to go last Saturday just gone. But we had a bit of a family emergency, and family comes before anything in my view. So now that the family emergency is kind of under wraps, I'm not going to go into detail about it. But at the moment it's kind of under wraps, so we're dealing with that. So I thought I need to get this one out. I need to get this one done because I promised you guys it would be out Saturday, but then complicated, obviously that happened. But yeah, National Cerebral Palsy Day was Saturday, and ow. Not ow because it's cerebral palsy, but it is a bit of an ow because if you've got it and everything, then it is a bit of a fuck out. And now cerebral palsy is something that affects the bone muscles and sometimes the speech on someone that is dealing with it. And when I was younger, I would see people with it obviously, and I'd be like, the fuck? Because I didn't really truly understand many disabilities until I was like 10 or 11 onwards. I knew I had something wrong with me. I never truly knew what kind of disabilities other than the what, because I was into I went to a mainstream school up until I went to my secondary school. Sorry. But yeah, I did that. And obviously it was a bit more like, it was a bit more difficult to understand the differences in disabilities and that. And when I finally did go to my first day at my new secondary school, I shut myself. I'm seeing people with sticks, I'm seeing them with frames, I'm being like, I know you're like, oh my god, you hypocrite. No. When I was kind of shied away from it for like a good 6-7 years, because I was in a mainstream school, and around where we lived, no one really had like that kind of disability. I know you see them out and about, but it wasn't very often, But then, obviously, as the years went on, obviously I went to the school. First day, I'm seeing people, as I say, I see people with wheelchairs, I see people with frames, I see people with hands that are different to mine. I see people with faces that are different to mine. So I see people using masks to help them breathe and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, my brain can't comprehend this. What is all this? And then I decided that when I had to get to know it a little bit more. But then one of the first people that actually was like one of the big people that I met was my best friend, one of my best friends, Josh. Now, Josh is cerebral palsy, and when I saw Josh come into the room, I shat myself because he came in like, alright. I was like, okay, you're loud. And then, to be honest, like, Josh me and Josh connected really well on such a good level. And Josh is CP, so it was like, I kind of learned a lot from him about what he could do, what he couldn't do. And then, there was a lovely girl in my class. I call her lovely, being polite. There was a girl in my class called Georgia, and Georgia has CP. Now, Josh and Georgia both have the cerebral palsy, but they have different lengths of the cerebral palsy. So Josh he's never in the mild spectrum, but he's not as bad as Georgia. To the point where Georgia, I don't think she'll mind me saying this. Georgia has to use a chair. She has a bit of speech problems, whereas Josh, sometimes he has speech problems saying things, like he stutters and everything. But he can walk, but not long distances. Well, he can long distances, but if he's going to, he has to use a frame or his sticks to get about. And then if it's a really long distance, like the odd occasion, he'd use a chair. But I've only ever seen him use the chair once, and that was when he used my chair to get from A to B, because it was quicker for me when I could walk, for me to walk and then for him to use the chair. But yeah, that was my first introduction really, was Josh. And over the years, like obviously I had so many more introductions to people with cerebral palsy. Hold on, I'm just going to put something in the postbox and now. Bye. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, after Josh, obviously, like, me and Josh have been friends now for like 11 years nearly. 10 years. Gone 10 years, because it's past September now. So, it's 11 years, because we met in 2007. Going down when I'm crossing the road. As I say, in those 11 years, like, me and Josh just kind of taught each other so much about one another. Not just like about our disabilities, but mentally as well, because what it can do to you. Because I've always had something like different wrong with me, and that was hereditary motor sensory neuropathy. It's a mouthful, I know, but I never knew what mine was. So for quite a few many years growing up, I believed it to be muscular dystrophy, which my friend has, and that's something I will cover one day, and I'll try and get him on to talk about it. I was trying to do this like another time when I could talk to someone with cerebral palsy, but it was never an option. But yeah, through Josh, I met one of my other best friends, Nadal. He's been on the channel before, and I've promoted him as well. He's really good with his editing and shit. But through, obviously, when I was in school, like, we kind of got divided into groups. And when we got divided, it was a bit like I was in the higher end spectrum of the group, and that's not me bragging or nothing, because I'm not a bragger, because I'm never going to be the smartest person. But at that time, I was a little bit smarter than some of the people in my class, so I went up a year in a sense, just for certain lessons, and that included science, maths and English. Now, science, maths and English I went up for. So through there I met Nadal, and at the time Nadal had this big ass Diana box, which is like a really big, it was like a heavy thing. If it hit you in the head, you'd be dead. I don't know how they let him have it, because it was kind of confusing how he would use it. It's a bit like an iPad, but it was like a computer, in a sense. And he had to fucking carry the thing around all the time. It was annoying, like, I would bet. And, crossing the road. But yeah, after a few years, iPads became into play, obviously. And quite a few things with the iPads was that Nadal obviously wanted one. The school were funding for iPads to be used with the younger children and everything, and then Nadal was like, I don't really want this die in a box anymore. How about if I buy my own iPad and then I use it in school, but it'll be under the school's warranty, so if it ever got damaged or nothing, like, the school would have to replace it, sort of thing. Which was fair, obviously, so he did that. And then, because like I was saying about Georgia and Josh about speech problems, Nadal has that as well. Nadal physically can't talk. He can laugh, he can make noises in a sense, and he can walk unassisted. There are times when there has been times when he's fallen over and everything. I'm like, no, get in the chair, because I can trot along next to him at the speed of 1 and push him in the chair, or if it's even in my manual, because he does tend to fall over a few times, and it's like he can really hurt himself, so I don't want him to hurt himself even more by continuing on after he's fallen over. But yeah, I met, obviously through that, I met Nadal, I met a few more people growing up, obviously, with cerebral palsy, and one of them was one of my very good friends, Lily. Now, Lily has cerebral palsy to the point where I kind of like Josh in a sense, where she can talk properly, she can walk, but she needs either a frame or sometimes the sticks to get about. If it's a long distance, she's not like Josh. She doesn't tend to use sticks or frame out and about that much because it's a strain on her. But if it's a long distance, she tends to use the wheelchair, which is more beneficial to her. But Lily has a blog post. I think I've talked about it on this channel before, but if I haven't, Journalist on Wheels. Go and follow it. Just go have a look at what she's done, because she and I worked on a blog post for cerebral palsy, and it's gone up. So if you want to learn some information from her perspective on things about people with cerebral palsy, go for it. I'm just reiterating my years of talking to people and hanging out with people that have it. Down crossing the road. See, safety always comes with me with this shit. I'm always gonna be safe. Yeah. Get around this corner. Thank you. Cheers. But yes, I met Lily. Obviously, like I said, I met Lily, Journalist on Wheels. Check it out. It's the blog post. She does everything and everything. But yeah, as the years kind of went on, you kind of don't see that many people with oh no, I'm a dumbass. How can I forget about one of the biggest people that was cerebral palsy down? Yeah, I'm a dumbass. I was almost going to forget about him. I'm so sorry. So when I was about 16, and I've done a video on this guy before, because I did it for his birthday. And when I was 16, I met, obviously, like I said, I met Nadal, I met Josh, I met Lily. But this guy is one of my closest friends. Calls me every day. A little bastard called me this morning, I couldn't pick up, so I was eating. But legit, he's one of my closest friends. And yeah, I love him to death. He's a pain in the arse sometimes, but I do love him. Surely, where we've done a video together actually before, me and him, where we've talked and talked. So let me go this way, because this way's taking longer. But yeah, we've done a video where we talked about I think it was the mishaps of having the disability, and how it was, and how it kind of affected us mentally and physically. Now, I'd love to do that video again with someone else. But yeah. But Sean, obviously, I met Sean when I was 16. I was a bit dubious of Sean because Sean can laugh at anything. He's a bit like Josh. Josh and Sean, you put them together and they will laugh at anything. Nadal will as well, but Nadal's, when it comes to a serious matter, Nadal will be kind of he'll know when the seriousness has stopped. They don't know when the seriousness has stopped. They all keep laughing and no, come on, joke's over now, come on. But they'll continue laughing. And I can do the most stupid thing, poke myself in the eye or something like that. And Sean and Josh will find that fucking hilarious. But that's what I love about all these people. They've all got such big hearts. Josh, Nadal, Lily, and Sean, all four of them. Yeah, they've all got such big hearts. Yeah, and if you saw my face there for a minute, I'm like, is there four? I had to count. I'm crossing the road. Lovely gentleman, let me pass. I'm not going to pick you up because I'm still going to cross another road. Right. Let us cross. But yeah, I love anybody and everybody with disabilities, but I've got a special soft spot for people with CP, because because of the people that are close to me, obviously. Each of them have had like a big impact on my life and continue to do so. Like, I can admit that not everyone is perfect and we've fallen out over a few things, but that's just you're not human if you haven't done that. And we never put it down to the fact that we've got disabilities or nothing. We fall out over the stupidest thing. I can't even say it, stupidest of things. There we go. Like, I'm not going to go into it obviously, but there was a time when Lily and I didn't actually talk for 4 years. And, we've buried the hatchet, me and her. And now we're closer than ever, I'd think. Because we talk every day. We make sure one another's okay. And we just, we want to keep up. We want to have a drive in life. And that's what everyone should have. Disability or non-disability. You have to be able to wake up in the morning and go, alright, even if today's a bad day, what can I do with myself? And it's much harder for people. I don't want to criticize people who haven't got disabilities, because I understand I've got people in my life that are dealing with some shit, and I know how hard it is for them. But having the extra toll of waking up and struggling to put on a t-shirt, or struggling to make a cup of tea, the simple things that some people take for granted, it's an extra added pressure on us. And when I say us, I mean the disabled community, not people just with CP, because it isn't. It's people with multiple disabilities. But people with CPs kind of struggle even more, because sometimes their hands don't work like they want them to. Sometimes their legs don't work like they used to before. Oh god, I just quoted fucking Ed Sheeran. But no, it's the truth. It does get... There are some tolling days for people with CP. And how do I know this? Because I haven't... You're going to say, how do I know this? Because I haven't got CP? Well, people talk to me about it. And to be honest, I tell them what they tell me. Never give up. Keep doing what you're doing. And this is for anyone out there with a disability that is struggling no matter what, or is... Even if you haven't got disabilities, for people out there as well. Just get on with your life. Do what you got to do. And make sure you make a better person out of yourself. Because the only person you can really prove to yourself is yourself. I know that sounds a bit weird, but the only person you really have to prove yourself to is yourself. And to make yourself proud. That's the only person you've ever got to make proud. Forget all the other people. You're the only person in the world that has to be like, okay, this is what I want to do. Thank you. I'm going to stop rambling now, because I've been rambling for about 18 minutes. I'm looking at the time now. But yeah, I know this is another short one, obviously. I could go on and on if I had someone here with me to talk about it. But there are my memories and my thoughts on people with CP. And as I always say to people, like, life's... I'm going to steal this thing from Syndicate. One of my people that do vlogging. Life's too short, make the most of it. I'm going to steal this one from Lily. Tomorrow's never promised. Lily always says that to me before we have a bad conversation about shit and everything. Or if she's having a bad day, she can always tell me tomorrow's never promised. So make sure you go and do and make the most out of today, because you never know what's going to come tomorrow. I'm going to love you all, I'm going to leave you all, and if you like the video, please like it, share the video around, get people seeing my views on CP. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.